All right, here it is. Chapter 19, Invisible Donut. Beaver and Sam on stage, awkwardly hugging but fighting over the key. Beaver still has the key, put it in his pocket. He's trying to get his pet boa constrictor to eat Hamster-saurus Rex. Here we are, Chapter 19. Beaver stood on the stage, awkwardly posing with the LMMM. That's the Little Mr. or Miss Muscles trophy, while Topher snapped photos. Maybe you could smile for the next one, said Topher. After all, we are called Smiles Corp. Here's a picture. Beaver did something with his mouth that wasn't a smile. Come to think of it, the guy didn't smile much outside the context of evil schemes. Topher sighed. Mr. Copeland and the other sixth grade teacher, Ms. Maddox, were now grading students' experiments. Their guest judge, Roberta Fast, didn't seem to be helping much as they tested Omar's electromagnetic nail. Instead, she murmured and texted and continued to search in vain for the invisible donut. My mom sat at a table passing out Smiles Corp brochures to students and looking worried. Beaver's photo session wouldn't last much longer. I needed to free Hamster-saurus Rex before he could. Unfortunately, that meant I had to get the other key. Hi, Martha, I said, sidling up to her exhibit. Hello, Sam, she said. As always, her hamster monitor lanyard hung around her neck. The second Hamster-saurus Pro key dangled from it. Your exhibit is very cool. I had no idea that tuna was a great resource of psyllium and niacin. Thanks. Your exhibit is, she trailed off. Anyway, that was very magnanimous of you to dedicate your trophy to Kiefer, even though he thinks you're a werewolf. And in case you don't know what magnanimous means, since your vocabulary is probably smaller than mine, it's the same as generous. Thanks. Say, there was something you said to me once that I've been thinking a lot about recently. You said that one day I might be able to make Junior Deputy Hamster Monitor. Sure, with a lot of hard work and dedication, anything is possible. If it happened, I said, would I get my own ID lanyard? Martha's eyes lit up. Of course you would, Sam. I know it's a little weird, but could I try on your hamster monitor lanyard just to see how it feels? She was taken aback. I don't know, Sam, said Martha. That would be highly unorthodox. On stage, Beaver was reluctantly pantomiming the various Little Mr. or Miss Muscles feats for the camera. He'd already gotten to the sandbag drag. I only had a few seconds left. Please, I said to Martha, please, 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 please. Could I try on the lanyard? Martha looked around to make sure nobody was watching. She took a deep breath. Very quickly, she slipped off her lanyard and put it around my neck. Wow, I can feel the weight of responsibility on my shoulders, I said. I realize now that Hamster Monitor is a sacred trust. Exactly, said Martha. Okay, cool. Here you go. Bye, I said, tossing the lanyard back to her. Luckily, she didn't notice that it was lighter by the weight of one key. A moment later, I was racing down the hallway toward Mr. Copeland's classroom. Thankfully, the lock on the door was still broken. Inside, I saw Hamster-saurus Rex. He sat up in his cage and roared. Good to see you too, pal, I said as I turned the key and opened the Hamster-saurus Pro. Hamster-saurus Rex sprang into the air, turned to flip, and landed on the ground. My prehistoric friend, I said as I followed Hamster-saurus Rex out into the hall. You're free. Free lunch, said Beaver. He stood in Hamster-saurus Rex's path with his boa constrictor coiled around his neck. Guess I didn't need this after all. He stuffed Mr. Copeland's key back into his pocket. Thanks for unlocking the cage for me, Sam. Run, Hammy Rex, I cried. Not so fast. I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, said Beaver. He tossed his boa constrictor onto the floor. The snake was huge, probably 8 feet long, with gray and red scales. It slithered toward Hamster-saurus Rex, whose fur stood on end. Meet Michael Perkins, said Beaver. Hang on, I said. Your pet's name is Michael Perkins? Yeah, so what? What's wrong with that? I don't know. It's just kind of weird to call your snake. Well, Hamster-saurus Rex is a weird thing to call a hamster. True, I admit. Anyway, shut up, said Beaver. Hamster-saurus Rex might be strong now, but Mr. Michael Perkins is even stronger. In the wild, boa constrictors eat like elephants and junk. Once my snake gets a hold of your hamster, it'll crush him and swallow him. Then I'm going to make you watch while Michael Perkins slowly digests Hamster-saurus Rex for the next 4 to 6 hours. Beaver caught me by the shirt and slammed me against a row of lockers. Hamster-saurus Rex snarled at him and bared his fangs. Michael Perkins coiled to strike. Don't worry about me, Hamster-saurus Rex, I said. Just go. Hamster-saurus Rex gave a growl. Michael Perkins struck, and Hammy Rex barely managed to scramble out of the way. Go on, I cried. Go! Hamster-saurus Rex dashed off down the hallway with a boa constrictor slithering close behind. I wiggled out of Beaver's grasp and ran after them. They'd already rounded the corner and raced down the stairs. I got to the first floor just in time to see them dash through the open door of the gymnasium. Oh no, I said myself. They blundered right into science night. Hamster-saurus Rex skidded to a halt under the table holding Jimmy Choi's borax crystal project. No one had seen him. Plenty of people noticed Michael Perkins, though. He elicited screams from the frightened children as he snaked across the gym floor, tongue flicking. I reached down to grab the boa with 2 hands and tried to hold him back. With a hiss and a quick flick of his body, Michael Perkins easily threw me off. The boa probably weighed as much as I did, and Beaver wasn't lying. He was at least as strong as Hammy Rex. Snake! Screamed Omar Powell. Snake! 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 What's going on? Said Principal Truitt. But Michael Perkins had disappeared under another table. I made a break for Hamster-saurus Rex. The exit's that way, I hissed at him as I pointed frantically back the way he had come. Yeah, I can read the sign, Sam, said Jimmy Choi, shaking his head. Hamster-saurus Rex seemed to understand me, though. He started to turn, but then he caught a whiff of something in the air. His little nose twitched. His pupils dilated. A strand of drool formed at the corner of his lips. I knew that look. He smelled junk food. This wasn't good. Not good at all. Instead of leaving, Hammy Rex charged towards the stage and leaped onto the podium. Here's a picture. You see Hamster-saurus Rex right here? Oh, here he is. Hey, it's Hamster-saurus Rex, cried Dylan. What? Cried Martha. But no hamster has ever escaped from the Petcatraz Pro. The Petcatraz Pro's promise has been broken. Hamster-saurus Rex opened his jaws wide and bit down on nothing at all. And then he started to chew. Ah! Shrieked Roberta Fast. The renegade hamster is eating my invisible donut. It's eating my invisible donut. I guess Hammy Rex is highly attuned sense of smell could detect refined carbohydrates and artificial colors even if they couldn't be seen. Now he was gobbling down the snack food of the future. Fish donut, said Wilbur Weber. Blech. At that moment, the boa constrictor slowly rose up behind Hamster-saurus Rex, fangs glistening. Look how Hammy Rex, I screamed. It's Michael Perkins. Who? Said Julie Bailey. Hamster-saurus Rex turned just in time and leaped out of the way. Michael Perkins struck at exactly the spot where he had been standing. The snake swallowed an invisible lump, the other half of the Smiles Corp donut. Everyone in the gymnasium stared at the two creatures for a moment. Then both of them disappeared. I did not see that coming. I never in my mind imagined that if you ate the invisible donut that you would become invisible too. Hamster-saurus Rex ate the donut and then disappeared. Michael Perkins ate the donut and then disappeared. I wonder if it's going to wear off after a while. Only 3 chapters left. Hey, I'll see you tomorrow for chapter 20. Take care.